Pop quiz. What strange little tool do you think women use to masturbate more than anything else? Vibrator? Nope. Her fingers? Wrong again. A Hitachi magic wand? Wrong. Give up? I'll tell you the strange answer in just a minute, but first a quick warning. What you are about to witness is real. This video contains live confessions about why women have sex. It is raw, uncensored, and may shock you. If you are offended by controversial subjects or explicit subject matter, please exit this video now. Alright, so believe it or not, the one thing women use to masturbate more than anything else is romance novels. Now, you might think it's crazy, right? A hot, sexy girl, lonely at night, with one hand jerking off, the other hand clutching a romance novel. And the best part is, the same innocent words inside a romance novel, literotica as it's called, can be used by any man to get women horny and make her fuck. Even if you're 80 pounds overweight, even if broke and unemployed, even if you think you're past your prime and not the right age for her, or feel like you don't know how to turn women on, after using these words, any woman will be helpless to resist and be staring into your eyes with red-hot lust, biting her lower lip, and grabbing your arm to pull you somewhere more private so she can get your hard cock inside her as quickly as possible. Sound good? Well, in a few minutes or so, I'm going to show you exactly what it takes to get your very own little black book full of innocent words that get her instantly dripping wet with desire for you. I used these words just the other day on a cute girl who lives across the road from me. Next thing I knew, I was bending her over and shoving my rock-hard cock into her tight little snatch. Not long before that, I whispered these words to Christine, who once said, "We should just be friends." She quickly forgot about that when she was licking my cock up and down before sliding it into her wet pussy. I also used them on this gorgeous black model who took one look at me and said I was out of her league. Afterwards, I had to replace my headboard because I'd fucked her so hard just about half an hour later. Just by whispering these innocent words, I can get a girl so horny she literally can't resist hopping onto my cock and riding it as hard as she can. I don't even need to think about rejection because she's the one making a move on me. And thanks to these innocent words, I don't have to spend money on a gym membership or drive a fancy Lamborghini or any of the material bullshit that girls supposedly like. Hell, I can stumble over to a girl with beer stains on my t-shirt and chocolate smeared all over my face and still get her off, just by using these innocent words. Want to hear some more? Well, first, I just got to give you a fair warning. This video is not going to be online for much longer. I've made a ton of enemies in the self-help industry because they all know this technique is so effective, it's threatening to put them all out of business. They're doing everything they can to get this video banned. I kid you not. And I don't blame them. I mean, if I knew that somebody else had a technique half as good as mine that resulted in men like you getting all the sex they wanted, I'd be freaking out myself. The point is, if you're thinking of switching this off and getting around to it later, chances are those assholes have already gotten the video taken down. If they have their way, this video will be banned from the internet forever. So, if you want to get hold of those innocent words that make any girl want to fuck you, literally within minutes, you don't have much time to waste. So, stick around and take it all in case you never find this video again. This is an email from Sean in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I don't really like to go out much. I spend most of my time on websites like Reddit and Tumblr, and it's through those sites that I first found out about your site. I didn't think it would work for me at all because I'm so shy, I can barely look a girl in the eye. I've been chatting with this girl online now for a while, but it was never going anywhere. Then I dropped those words into our chat, and that very night, she bought herself a plane ticket out to see me. We never left my room for the entire week she was there. She came all this way and spent all that money just to fuck me over and over again. Bill from Newport, Connecticut says, as I write this email, I'm almost 100 pounds overweight and I suffer from rosacea, a skin condition that shrivels up my face to make it look drier and uglier than the Mojave Desert. So, needless to say, I've never considered myself a ladies' man. But that was before I tried your approach. I've always had the biggest thing for Sally, this super hot bartender who's always been nice to me but has never shown any interest in me at all. That was until I whispered your words to her, and now she can barely keep her hands off me. Every time we meet up, she pushes me into the first room she can find and goes to town on my cock. Thank you so much, Vin, for saving my sex life. So, it's safe to say that Bill is a satisfied customer. But let's hear from just one more. This one is from David in Des Moines, Iowa. David writes, Rebecca has been my best friend since college. She's a beautiful redhead with an hourglass figure to die for. I've wanted to climb inside her ever since we first met. The problem is, for so many years, I've been stuck in the friend zone with no possible way out. Once I discovered your magic words, I calmly let them slip into a conversation we were having at her place. The next thing I knew, she tore my pants off and jumped straight onto my cock. She even let me fuck her in the ass. These are just 3 of many examples from satisfied customers who discovered that once they learned the right words, they could get any woman hungry for your cock and begging to be fucked. And all they had to do was slip these words into an ordinary conversation. And that's what makes these words work so well, because they're just normal words that bypass a woman's rejection mechanism, making her powerless to resist you. Now listen up, because I'm going to share an embarrassing story with you. It's not one I like to tell, but it's one that you need to hear so you can understand how I came across these innocent words that give me the power to seduce any woman I want and get her totally addicted to my cock. Hell, these words can even make women fall in love with me. Doesn't that sound appealing? To have any woman you want look at you with desire, desperately wanting to shove your cock deep inside her, or any other hole in her body? Then I suggest you listen very carefully to what I'm about to tell you. Now at this point, most guys would probably start bragging about all the best-selling books they've written or how many times they've appeared on TV. But who cares? That's not why you're watching this. You don't want to hear me brag. No, you want to hear about how to get any woman to spread her legs as wide as possible so you can ram your cock deep inside her wet pussy. You want to hear how you can get a woman crying out your name as she begs and pleads for you to fuck her harder than ever before. That's what you want to hear, right? Look, if you're still here, it means one of 2 things. You're either having a hard time getting laid, or you're not fucking the kind of girls you really want to fuck. You've been settling for the wrong type of girls, and now you're sick and tired of it. Perhaps you've even told yourself, one day the girl of your dreams will just suddenly walk into your life and everything will work out fine. But as time goes by, the chances of that actually happening are slowly slipping away. And the worst thing is, when you do meet a girl you actually like, you freeze up and don't know what to say, and end up in the friend zone before she even gets a chance to see what a great guy you are. You've even tried going to bars and clubs, but they're all filled up with stuck-up bitches who couldn't even hold a simple conversation. And worst of all, these women seem to get off on rejecting you. You're frustrated with spending another night at home all alone with a tub of Vaseline and a box of tissues, watching some other guy pound the fuck out of a hot bitch while you imagine what it would be like to feel your cock deep inside her. The reason I know all this is because I spent years of my life desperate for any girl to give me the time of day. Heck, I got that desperate, I would have put my cock into the first fatty that gave me the time of day. Whether she had teeth or not. Yeah, shit got pretty low, man. I got so depressed that I just about gave up on women altogether. I decided the best thing to do was to bury myself in work. At the time, I was working as a copywriter in a small advertising agency. I'd just been given a small cubicle in the basement of the goddamn building. My job was to sit there all day while I read other people's manuscripts. I wanted to keep myself busy and get my mind off of how low my life had become, so I immersed myself in my job and actually wound up working overtime several nights a week. They had me at a desk that once belonged to this old guy who worked at the company for 40 years. He's seriously from the Mad Men era. Anyway, one night I was sitting at that old desk and it was approaching midnight. Of course, everyone else other than me had gone home. I was getting ready to finally clock out when I discovered something incredible. In this old advertising executive's drawer, I found an old dusty scrapbook full of notes. Each of the pages seemed to be covered in cigarette ash and coffee stains. At this stage, I was looking for just about anything to get my mind off my ex. So, with tired, bloodshot eyes, I began to look through the book. Immediately, something caught my eye. I couldn't believe what I saw. It turns out that this old advertising veteran was using certain types of words in his advertising to sell more romance books to women. Apparently, the more he could turn women on, the more of his romance books they would buy. I suddenly had an amazing thought. If these words were able to turn women on so much that they have to go out and buy these books, couldn't you use those same words to make women want to come home with you? I quickly dumped the idea because it just seemed too crazy to work. I put the notebooks back into the drawer and I figured I'd never look at them again. But my dry spell just kept going and going and going. I couldn't take it anymore. The words weren't going to leave my head anytime soon. In the end, I was so desperate that I was willing to try absolutely anything. And so, I did. The first time I tried it out, I was in a diner late one night after work. When the waitress came by to take my order, I dropped a couple of these innocent words into my response. I wasn't even flirting with her. I just wanted to see what would happen. Her response amazed me. First, she made direct eye contact with me. Then, she looked like she was feeling lightheaded. She grabbed my shoulder in order to keep her balance and giggled wildly into my ear. All I did was order a cheeseburger. Later, she brought me my food, and I gave it another shot. You know what she did? She threw the receipt book over her head and stayed with me while I ate, laughing and flirting while the other customers and the manager became more and more pissed off. Put yourself in my shoes for a moment. Imagine this insanely hot waitress who is deliberately leaning in extra close while she takes my order so I can get the best possible view of her tits, because that's exactly what happened. As she's taking my order, her hand is resting on my shoulder. I can smell her perfume. It's the same perfume all the hot girls in high school used to wear. Later, when she asks in a seductive voice, "Anything else?" before adding her phone number on the check and insisting that I give her a call. I was shocked. First of all, I looked like shit. I hadn't shaved or showered in days, and I was wearing the same dirty clothes from the night before. My boss even had to have a word with me about it. Second of all, I don't even know how long it had been since I had any attention from a woman whatsoever. It had to be a fluke. 1 in a million shot. So I told myself I'd let it go and return to my life as a sad sack. But there was something in me that just wouldn't let me forget about it. A few days later, a friend of mine came over and forced me out of the house so we could do some laundry. As I was loading my dirty undies into the washing machine, we noticed the cute girl doing her washing a few machines over. She had that sexy laundry day outfit on. You know the one I mean, the tight t-shirt, tiny shorts on. She came over and asked if I had any change. Suddenly, the incident at the diner popped back into my mind. So, I tried it again. Slipped some of those innocent words into my response. Her whole face lit up like a Christmas tree. She continued to chat with me while she helped load my clothes into the washing machine. My friend stepped back in awe of what was going on. Again, I want you to imagine this for yourself. The hottest woman you've ever seen at the laundromat is accidentally pressing her busty chest up against your back while she's reaching up for the detergent. As she leans in closer, you get a whiff of her hair. It smells amazing, and you can feel yourself getting turned on. As you're talking, she rests her hand on your arm and doesn't let go. Not for a while, anyway. Then she makes a flirtatious joke about how much she likes your underwear and how badly she'd like to try it on sometime. I thought my friend was going to pass out. Not only did this chick give me her number, but she even gave me a pair of panties to make sure I'd call her back. Now, I know I'm pretty much a slob, but my friend was a walking disaster. He went around in these oversized t-shirts and creepy baseball caps that make him look like a child molester. He couldn't believe his eyes when he saw all the success I was getting, and he started pestering me for my secret. So, as a test, I told him everything. I thought to myself, if it could work for him, it could work for anybody. A few days later, I head over to his place again for Monday Night Football. As I'm walking up to his condo, this big-breasted blonde passes me by, her hair all disheveled, and she had a big, wide grin on her face. Unbelievably, it worked. That's when I started to think that there was a real method to the madness. I even tried it on an old ex-girlfriend who dumped me over email because she thought I was gay. I still had her number, so I texted her a few of those innocent words. She texted me back within a minute and wouldn't stop. Suddenly, She's sending me all these sexy texts about how badly she wants to ride my cock and doing everything she possibly could to get me to come over. Boy, I could have had her. But did I? Of course I fucking didn't. But I did text her back a picture of the woman I was nailing as she took my erect cock and shoved it all the way down her throat. Even after that, she wouldn't stop texting me. It was insane. Up until then, I thought it was just a bit of luck. Now I had all the proof I needed. The innocent words were foolproof. And with that, I could finally move on with my life and say goodbye to all those negative feelings I had towards her. In just a moment, I'm going to share this amazing discovery with you, so keep watching. Now, again, I should stress that I'm not some poster boy for the sexiest man alive. It's not like I have women lining up around the block to fuck me because of the way I look. Actually, because of that, I always had to rely on other things when trying to pick up women. The problem is, I didn't know what to say or how to act to get a woman turned on. I was literally clueless, and this frustration and pain led me to discover a simple secret. I uncovered the real problem stopping you from fucking the women you deserve. I discovered something that most men are clueless about. Look, it's not your fault. It's society's fault for selling us this lie that to get women, we have to chase after them, which is the total opposite of what really works. It used to frustrate the hell out of me because I could never figure out how to get a woman attracted to me. I would see guys say the lamest things to women, and she would totally be into him. She would playfully touch his arm with a big smile on her face. She looked ready to fuck his brains out. I thought I'd never be able to do that. When I tried to chat to women, they'd either get so bored and just walk away or make some silly excuse to get the hell away from me. I mean, I literally had no hope. What I didn't realize about attracting women is all you need to do is use the right words. The guys who were doing well with women weren't any different to you or I. They just knew the right thing to say to get a woman horny and ready to fuck. So rather than just blindly saying anything to a woman and hoping like hell she'll want to fuck you, all you have to do is say the right words and watch her start panting with desire to fuck you. Whether you're fat, bald, poor, or old, it really doesn't matter. All women respond the same way to men who use these words. I mean, yeah, you could have six-pack abs with a face like Brad Pitt, but if you use the wrong words, she won't want to fuck you. But if you use the right words, she'll instantly be all over you, begging to fuck you. Even if you've totally sucked with women all your life, or you think you lack the confidence to pull it off, all you have to do is say these words to her and watch her do everything she can to get down your pants. The best thing is, by just saying the right words, she's going to want to fuck you. It's that easy. She's going to do whatever it takes to fuck your brains out. You might even find yourself getting followed by one of these girls outside the bar so she can throw you into the back seat, unzip your pants, and force your cock into her wet pussy. No matter what, just saying these words will get her tearing off her panties and ready to fuck you. And the great thing is, you never have to chase her. She's the one doing all the chasing. Now, just imagine, you see a girl you really want to fuck. She could be at a bar, on the street, or even some girl you know. Now imagine being able to casually walk up to her and know exactly what to say to get her turned on and ready to fuck. Imagine watching her giggle at everything you say while she touches you like crazy. Then she whispers seductively in your ear to call her as she slips you her number. She looks right at your lips and you realize how desperately she wants to fuck you. Later that night, you go over to her place. She pulls you straight into her bedroom. She's wearing her sexiest lingerie just for you. You kiss her tender lips and you feel how horny she is as she starts grinding up against you. Your cock is hard as a rock. Her pussy is so wet that some of it seeps out of her panties onto your jeans. She scratches down to your hips and pulls off your pants. You feel her warm mouth wrap around your cock. After sucking and slurping for a while, she falls back onto the bed and demands your cock inside her. The more you thrust, the more pleasure she gets. She then climbs on top of you, slips your cock inside her, and rocks back and forth, moaning louder and louder. You even start to see her quiver and shake. She rides you harder and harder until you both come at the same time. The next morning, you feel her slide your cock inside her once again. It's really that easy when you know the right words to use. All right, that was a lot to take in, I'm sure. You might be feeling a little dazed and confused, and that's fine. I understand. But don't worry about it, because you don't need to do any more work, really. Leave it all up to me, my friend. Just stick around a little bit longer, because I'm about to lay out the blueprint you need to get any woman you want to spread her legs open wide and take your cock deep inside her. I'm Vin DiCarlo, the creator of the Dominant Sexual Power. Dominant Sexual Power gives you the right words to use to turn any woman on, get her dripping wet with desire, and ready to fuck you harder than you've ever been fucked before. She might think it's just a normal conversation, but pretty quickly, she'll be on all fours, screaming your name and demanding to be fucked harder. Now, it doesn't matter to me if you're losing your hair, you think you're past your prime, you think some random hottie is out of your league, if you're out of shape, if you can barely carry on a conversation with a woman, you hate going out, you're not the wealthiest man who ever lived, you're not even the most confident man who ever lived. You can't make a woman laugh, you don't think you're interesting enough, or anything like that. It doesn't even matter if she doesn't find you attractive at first. All you have to know are the right words to say, and once you drop them into a conversation, she'll be all yours all night long. She'll crave your cock, literally, no matter who you are. Look, I think you've gone through enough pain. You've gone through enough frustration. You deserve something that works, something that gets the women you deserve. Don't forget that these words come from a veteran in advertising who understood the power of words to get women salivating enough to buy romance novels. Well, I've taken it a step further and created a direct line into the sexual center of the female brain, using the power of subliminal messages via these innocent words. And this is backed up by science. In 1987, there was a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology that looked at the effect subliminal messages had on test subjects. The study found that people had a stronger reaction to subliminal messages the harder it was to hear, which is why I keep telling you to whisper the innocent words. In fact, this is so effective that the FCC banned a method of advertising that took advantage of subliminal messages. Now look, at this point, I need to make one thing very clear to you. I'm here teaching you this subliminal message thing only so that you can turn women on. I'm trying to help you get laid, and that's all I'm doing. The technique really is powerful, and in the wrong hands, they could do some real damage. So if you're planning on using this for anything harmful, dangerous, or evil for that matter, I want you to stop watching this right now. For the rest of you, I want you to have this technique so you never have to worry about a woman rejecting you again. So if you want to get inside that woman who gets your juices flowing and get her so turned on she'll be begging for you to fuck her, then dominant sexual power isn't just some old thing that you can use to get a woman horny. It's the only thing you'll ever need. Ryan from Akron, Ohio says, I always had a real thing for Lauren, this girl I work with. I tried to talk to her, but she'd never give me the time of day. After using your innocent words, I got her to agree to come to happy hour with me. After that, she came back to my place, and we fucked until the sun came up. Patrick from Providence, Rhode Island says, I've never liked going out. I don't drink, and I hate all those bars that are loud and too crowded. How is a guy like me supposed to find a woman to fuck? Now, that's when Vin's DSP came in. Now I don't have to go out late to meet these women at bars. I can find them during the day, whisper the words, and get them to come over so we can have hot, dirty sex all night long. Steve from Chicago says, if it wasn't for DSP, I'd still be a virgin. Honestly, I'd given up even trying to get laid when I was in my mid-20s. Well, after I got a hold of Vin's technique, I used it on the cute pizza delivery girl that I always order from. I whispered the words over the phone. Well, she came with the pizza and left with my virginity. Plus a tip for the food. Thank you so much, Vin. Your technique is a sexual lifesaver. Now, in just a moment, I'm going to show you everything you need to do in order to get the great kind of sex life those guys are boasting about. Before we do that, let's take a look at exactly what you're going to get. Now, doing this one simple thing with your voice will have you swimming in all the pussy you want for the rest of your life. You'll get any girl's panties soaking wet with desire. And the cool thing is, you're doing this with your voice all the time. But now, you'll be able to do it at all the right times. And all the other men who see you in action will stare in complete awe of you. They'll be jealous when they see you make this slight adjustment to your body language that gets women approaching you. Men who are successful with women use this technique constantly, but none of them know that they're doing it. Now, let's say you think you're over the hill and everyone keeps telling you that you're way too old to land a hot chick who's 10, 15, maybe even 20 years younger than you. That's not going to matter anymore. This technique goes beyond how old you are. No matter how old they are or you are, you're going to get the girl to think it's her idea to have sex with you instead of the other way around. Stuck in the friend zone? Don't worry about it. In fact, this technique works even better the longer you've been stuck in the friend zone. This will correct everything you've been doing wrong and get that girl who wanted to just be friends to want to fuck your brains out. Best of all, mastering this takes 15 minutes tops. By then, the use of your words will be so effective, it'll feel to her like your voice box is going down on her wet clit. There's one mistake that men constantly make when trying to chat up a woman. This one conversational mistake will kill your chances no matter how rich or good looking you are. And I've seen it happen many times. I'm going to help you avoid this mistake so these women want to fuck you every time. I'm also going to show you the one critical way to touch a woman that most men neglect. Do this right, and she'll be begging for you to come home with her. But do this wrong, and you'll kill any chance of fucking her. The powerful eye contact technique all women wish you knew. This simple technique has actually nothing to do with your eyes. And when you master it, you'll be able to stare straight into her soul, and she'll immediately feel a strong sexual bond with you. Scared of other men stealing your woman? I'll give you a blow-by-blow system to make your girl super sexual around you, and no one else. She'll feel like even the biggest studs can't satisfy her, and she'll only ever want to be fucked by you. Right now, you're probably making a mental list of all those women you want to have sex with. You might be wondering how you can get this technique right now so you can use it immediately, or how much it costs, or how effective it really is. Before we come to all that, I have a question of my own. What if I told you that these innocent words have the power to turn on any woman just by using it in everyday conversation? Think about never having to sleep alone again. Never feeling the frustration of seeing other guys have all the fun while you go home alone to a box of tissues and a bottle of lube. Once you learn this technique, you'll be able to fuck all the women you've ever dreamed of. So if everything I just said is true, how much would you be willing to pay? What do you think the right cost is to get any woman you want at any time of day or any day of the week? To be the guy that all the other guys watch as he takes home the hottest girl in the bar? What would you be willing to spend? $500? $5,000? $50,000? More? Honestly, the customers who already use these innocent words tell me that they couldn't even put a price on all the women they've been fucking ever since they got their hands on this technique. They can't put a price on all the happiness they've achieved thanks to all the sex they've been getting on a regular basis. But I'm guessing you're imagining some pretty expensive figures. $1,500? Not even close. $750? Still way off. $250? That's the price that the other customers paid. The regular retail price for dominant sexual power is a mere $97. So if you're watching this now, it means the video is still up and hasn't been taken down yet. Because you're here now, I'm going to give you a special insider's discount. Order right now, and you'll get the entire dominant sexual power technique for just $69. But you've got to act quickly. The longer you wait, the more likely this offer will be completely gone for good. Look, I want to make this as easy as possible for you. I'm offering this to you risk-free. I care about you, and I care about your sex life. So I'm taking all the risk off you and putting it right on me. And that's because I know exactly what's going to happen once you start using the technique. You're going to use the innocent words on her, and then you'll be able to see through her eyes that she's thinking about undressing you and sucking your cock. You'll be able to feel the sparks coming off her body as she moves closer to you, digs her claws into your back, and shoves your dick right into her moist pussy lips. You'll never feel invisible in the presence of a beautiful woman again. And you'll be amazed by how easy all of this is. I'm so confident in what I'm saying that I'm prepared to offer you a full money-back guarantee. If you find that my technique isn't for you, or if it just simply doesn't work on any of the women that you're trying to fuck, just let us know and you'll get a fast and full refund. That's how confident I am that this technique works. I believe that you'll be drowning in so much pussy within a matter of days that you won't even remember paying for this in the first place. And the thought of getting your money back won't even occur to you. You have 60 days. That's more than enough time to give it a shot and decide that it isn't for you. I can't make it any fairer than that. Like I said, I care about your sex life, and I want to make this as easy for you as possible. Actually, you know what? I can make it even fairer for you. I'm giving you my personal email address right here. vin@vindecarlo.com. I check my messages constantly, so if you have any questions, concerns, or complaints, you know exactly how to get in touch with me. Or hey, if you just want to introduce yourself and shoot the shit, I'm down for that too. I'm not just a salesman here. I'm also your friend. So click on the Add to Cart button below to start the process of getting the hot women you've always dreamed of begging to fuck you. Once you click on the button, you'll get instant and easy access to dominant sexual power. Let's look at one more email. This is one of my favorites, actually. Ian from Newark, New Jersey. I heard about your technique, and to be honest, I thought it was bullshit. In fact, the only reason I bought it was to prove how bullshit it was. I've seen lots of friends of mine get suckered in by this stuff before. Well, it's been 5 days, and I've already banged 2 hot women. Even better, I got a third one coming over right now. My numbers are climbing faster and longer than my very own cock. No refund necessary, Vin. This really does work, and I'm going to recommend it to all my friends. Thanks for everything, dude. All right, I'm going to make this deal a no-brainer for you. I'm going to take it up a notch. Just to say thank you for watching the entire presentation today, I'm going to throw in a couple of incredible bonuses guaranteed to get you fucking more women faster than you could ever imagine. Bonus number 1. Squirting made easy. Give her an explosive orgasm every time. Get her to come harder and faster than ever before. You'll make a great first impression when you leave her dripping wet in a puddle of her own cum. Squirting also releases the chemical nicknamed the love hormone, oxytocin, inside her. Oxytocin makes her feel a flood of warm and loving emotions for you. It won't matter if you're old, broke, or overweight 100 pounds. She'll be so addicted to you, you'll virtually own her. Bonus 2, the threesome formula. 2's great company, 3's a great fucking time. Most women are bisexual. They love playing with another girl's pussy while being fucked from behind. I'll show you my secret formula to getting 2 girls ready to fulfill all your dirty fantasies. It's like being the star of your very own porno, except these girls aren't getting paid to be there. Bonus 3, Harem Management 101. Feel like the last man alive on planet pussy. When you start fucking lots of girls, you'll want to keep some around. In this report, I'll show you how to manage your women without any hassles or jealousy. You don't need to be famous or even own the Playboy mansion. You'll have your very own group of hot and horny women all ready to jump straight onto your cock. Bonus 4, dirty text. These innocent words make her horny. Get her hot and horny with a push of a button. She can be at the supermarket, work, visiting her parents. As soon as you send one of these dirty texts, her pussy will be dripping wet. It's like having a remote control that turns her on anytime you want. Bonus 5, fuck like a porn star. Make her scream all night when you pound her harder and longer than any other guy. Become a sex god in the bedroom. After one night with you, She'll be limping to work the next day, wearing a cheeky grin on her face. And once you know how to fuck a girl right, your confidence will immediately skyrocket. Your neighbors will be pissed. Now, if you wanted all 5 of the bonuses, normally you'd have to spend $697. But today, you'll get all of them absolutely free when you order Dominant Sexual Power. For just $69 right now, you can claim these bonuses and Dominant Sexual Power. Just click the Add to Cart button below right now before it's too late. Your privacy is absolutely 100% guaranteed. You won't find anything weird or strange showing up on your billing statement. Our product is entirely online, which means you can download it now and use it tonight. And honestly, the only way anyone will find out that you purchased my product is if you're so satisfied that you tell all your friends about how you're getting all the hot pussy you've ever dreamed of. I'm giving you Dominant Sexual Power today for a super low discounted price. When it works, send me a testimonial and tell me all your stories. The dirtier, the better. But it's important that you act right now before the chance is lost forever. Firstly, the Dominant Sexual Power can't stay at this super low price forever. Secondly, don't forget that I'm taking this video down very soon and it won't be available anywhere else on the internet. If I left it up too long, I'd have everybody stealing my technique. Thirdly, if you don't act now, all the bonuses I'm throwing in will no longer be free and will go back to the regular retail price. So, click the Add to Cart button now before you lose out on all the bonuses for free. Just picture it right now. You click on the Add to Cart button and picture all those women smiling and giggling right there with you. Imagine the looks on your friends' faces when they see the way women look at you like they want to fuck you all the time. I've shown you the proof. I've read you the testimonials from Sean, Bill, David, Ryan, Patrick, Steve, and Ian, the men who have used this technique and now can fuck any woman they look at just by using these innocent words. Finally, I've given you a 100% satisfaction guarantee that will result in any woman you want getting into your pants or your money back. You're going to keep the bonuses and you're getting a massive discount off the regular price of this simple-to-use, foolproof system. So now you have a simple choice to make. Option number 1 is that you can shrug all this off and do nothing. Keep doing the same things over and over again, getting the same results, and wasting precious years of your life not getting the sex you've always dreamed of and deserve. I remember hearing the quote, "The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result." I don't know about you, but I certainly did enough of that in my life. But if you're still watching this now, it means that what you're doing with women hasn't been working. And if you were getting these results with women, you wouldn't need Dominant Sexual Power. Option number 2 is to do it yourself. You could try using what you've learned today and try going out and talking to girls. It's your choice, but I can tell you from past experience that the chances of figuring this out are very slim. You may have some success if you're insanely lucky, or you could go through years of rejection and humiliation, never seeing results at all. Then you've got option number 3. Get your hands on Dominant Sexual Power right now and risk nothing. Get the system for just $69. Click the button now and join. If you're unsatisfied for any reason, you can get all your money back. Just imagine the feeling of having hot women hitting on you, touching you whenever they can, giggling at everything you say as she looks at you with hunger in her eyes, and you know she wants to feel you deep inside her. You feel her hand gently run down your neck as she seductively licks her lips. She pulls you in closer to her and gently whispers in your ear, "I want you to fuck me right now." Imagine what it would feel like to have that power over women. You've seen it happen to other guys, and now it's your turn. You deserve this. No more frustration, no more humiliation, and no more jerking off alone. You now have the keys to getting unlimited hot pussy whenever you want. You can have all this right now. Just click the Add to Cart button below this video and start your new life as a man who can easily and effortlessly fuck any hot girl he wants. you'll be able to very innocently make women addicted to you and turn them into a raging sex machine. This is powerful stuff, and you can have it all right now by clicking below. What have you got to lose? Click the Add to Cart button now, and this powerful secret can be all yours. And if it doesn't work, you can have all your money back. Just think, right now, how can it change your life? Right now, you can put all the frustration and humiliation behind you and start a new chapter in life. Make the no-risk decision to start getting what you deserve. Thank you very much for watching my presentation. Press the button now to begin your journey. I'll see you on the inside. Click the button below to order right now. Still haven't made up your mind? Yeah, fair enough. We get a lot of questions, especially given all the controversy that the program's caused. So let me take a moment to address some of the most common concerns that we're met with. 1. How fast do I get access to dominant sexual power? As soon as you complete the order, you'll get instant and complete access to the Dominant Sexual Power program. You won't have to wait for anything to come in the mail or anything like that. See, everything is available on digital download, so it'll take you less than 2 minutes to get a hold of all the materials you'll need. Within 5 minutes, you'll be saying to yourself, "Oh, wait a minute. That's all I needed to say to get a woman horny?" Or, "So if I just say this, she'll want to fuck me straight away?" So yeah, all you have to do is finish the order, and it's all yours right after that. 2. Will it work if I'm overweight, unattractive, or over 40? You'd be amazed by how little all that stuff matters in the long run. I mean, if 2 men have the exact same personality and a woman has to choose between them, it's a safe bet that she'll go with the better-looking guy. But that has no bearing on what we're doing here. The point of dominant sexual power is to let the average Joe in on the inside track. In fact, my most successful students, we're talking guys who consistently sleep with hot young 20-year-olds every weekend, are by no means the kind of guys you'd see in GQ or on a runway or anything like that. They're pretty old, actually. But the great thing is, these secrets can be used by any man. Old, young, overweight, short, tall, it doesn't matter. What matters the most is how the girl feels inside. And when you know how to make her feel pure, raw sexual attraction, she won't give a damn what you look like. She'll be too busy thinking about what your hard cock feels like inside her. So, yeah, don't fall for what the media and society tells you and what's attractive to women. What matters most is how you make a woman feel. And with dominant sexual power, you can instantly go from just a casual conversation to making a woman feel instant sexual attraction. It can happen in seconds or minutes, and when it does, she isn't in control anymore. Her emotions just take over her, and she has to have sex with you. 3. I'm in the friend zone. Will this help get me out? The mechanics behind dominant sexual power are designed to trigger the attraction of any woman you're interested, regardless of how well you know them. But we've heard this one before, and we understand it. The problem with making moves on a friend is that you don't want to blow the friendship or make her uncomfortable. But here's the thing. When you use dominant sexual power, you're using words that mask themselves within everyday, ordinary conversations. From her point of view, she'll be talking to you about something totally normal and then suddenly start thinking, wow, how have I become so attracted to him all of a sudden? You aren't really doing anything that different. You've just made her feel differently in the way that you talk to her. So yeah, whether you're best friends or if you're just office workers or just kind of friendly, the dominant sexual power program will erase the friend zone and work to your advantage. If anything, that works even better if you're already established as friends. But hey, if you think that your situation is way different from anybody else's, you still get a full refund if it doesn't work. This is a 100% guarantee, so really, you've got nothing to lose. 4. What if I'm looking for a relationship? Can dominant sexual power help me? A lot of the guys who use dominant sexual power don't even consider the relationship possibilities that come with the system. They're just so wrapped up in being able to turn women on that they forget about why they gave it a shot in the first place, to meet the one. Dominant sexual power will do more than just get you laid. It'll help you understand women on a far deeper level. You'll start to figure out why women are so selective in dating, what they're looking for in a man, what turns them on, and at the deepest level, why they chased after some guys more than others, and so on. You know those relationships where the couple are still as horny and sexually as active as when they first met? Well, you'll be able to get that with dominant sexual power in no time. Women want a man who can constantly fulfill their deepest sexual desires and who can make them feel safe and protected. And this program is full of tools and techniques that are perfect for all those situations. So not only will it help you find the perfect woman for you at a much faster rate, but it'll also provide you with the key to understanding women so that the relationship lasts for a very long time. 5. How is this different from XYZ dating advice? The real difference between all the books, DVDs, and seminars out there is that dominant sexual power is the only program that goes into the deepest sexual desires of a woman and gives it to you in an easy-to-use system you can use immediately. A lot of dating advice gives you all types of tricks and strategies to keep a girl interested or get her a little attracted to you, maybe even enough to get her phone number or agree to go out on a date with you. But rarely will it ever get her to feel a deep sexual desire for you. The type that makes her immediately want to rip all your clothes off and fuck your brains out. That's what we're talking about here. In fact, the stuff you'll learn in dominant sexual power is that powerful. We often advise our students not to use it in public places because it can be quite embarrassing for the girl, especially if she starts to lose total control of her emotions and wants to fuck you right there and then. We've even had cases where the girl stripped off all of her clothes in a public place and nearly got arrested. So yeah, this stuff is quite powerful. Plus, when you know how to trigger raw desire in a woman, there's no need for any game playing anymore or learning silly routines. You just need to get her horny and bam, she's all yours. It really is that easy. 6. Is it considered cheating if I use dominant sexual power? It depends on what you mean. Is it cheating when a girl puts on makeup or wears a push-up bra or heels that make her ass look big? Most people would agree that there's nothing wrong with doing that. In fact, it's pretty much accepted and not really thought about that women constantly do this. How many times have you been distracted by the looks and appearance of a beautiful woman? Actually, I once read a study that said that a man's IQ drops a full 20 points when he's talking to an attractive woman. Do you think any man would complain about learning that fact? So just as a man loves it when women are so hot that they lose all concentration, you're going to find that women love it when men do it too. Here's the thing. Most women know that they're doing this, but for a lot of men, it's not that easy to have this kind of effect on a woman. Dominant sexual power makes it possible. I don't see it as cheating as much as playing the field. Women want men to appear more attractive. They want men to understand them, and they want this just as much as we want the women in our lives to look stunning and turn us on. 7. Is this really guaranteed? Oh yeah, no question. And the reason why is because it's not handled by me personally. It's handled by Altair Publishing. Altair Publishing have their own support center where you can call or email anytime, and they handle everything. You have 2 weeks to try out the program once you've downloaded it, and believe me, it'll take you a lot less than 2 weeks to see how powerful this stuff is. But hey, if you're not satisfied within 14 days, you can get in touch with them via email or phone call, toll-free, and you'll get every penny back. Altair provides first-class customer support with some of the friendliest operators you could ever hope to deal with. Honestly, the only guy who's really risking anything is me, because you're more than welcome to just buy the program, get all the materials, and then take your money back. I mean, I hope you're not the kind of person to do that, but you can definitely do that if you want. But I'm not worried about that at all. I'm much more focused on getting the best possible results for you. And that's what I'm building my reputation on, and that's why you can trust my guarantee. 8. Who should not buy dominant sexual power? Sadly, we can't really enforce this, but of course there are guys out there with a history of emotional or physical abuse, and if you're a guy like that, then you should absolutely not buy dominant sexual power. These techniques are neither good nor evil. All they do is amplify who you really are. It's a little like nuclear power. Really, in the right hands, it can be used to generate electricity in millions of homes and do extraordinary things for people. In the wrong hands, it can be used for violence and mass destruction. I'm trusting that if you use dominant sexual power, you're using it to provide millions of women with the passion, excitement, and romance that all of us should experience. So yeah, as long as you mean to use it with good intentions, to make the women in your life feel truly special and happy, like you're some kind of knight in shining armor, then by all means you should use it. You'll be an ambassador to this program, and we'll be more than happy to have you represent us. 9. How fast will I get results? Well, all that depends on how quickly you try the techniques and practice them in the real world. If you buy a book on how to learn the piano, but you let both the book and the piano gather dust in the corner of your living room, then none of the techniques are going to work. But if you actually make the effort to try them out, you'll see results based on what you put into it. The mistake is to think about dominant sexual power like it's some magic pill that will make women line up around the block to go out with you once you swallow it. If that's what you're expecting, then you're going to be sorely disappointed. This is about self-improvement. And if that's not what you're interested in, then you might as well call up an escort agency instead. Think about it another way. With self-improvement comes self-confidence. Once you start applying the techniques to real-life situations, and once you get the results you're looking for, your confidence is going to skyrocket. That alone will make you more desirable to women. And that's before you start using the innocent words. It's a side effect that's actually going to result in even more action if you really stick with it. So, like with anything else, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. 10. Is my credit card safe, and what will show up on my bill? Remember that this isn't me who's charging the card. It's Altair Publishing, and that's what's going to turn up on the bill. Altair has thousands upon thousands of customers. It's a family business that's been going on for years, so they're not about to start destroying their reputation by ripping people off. Some of the people who work for them also used to work for Amazon, which, as you know, handles millions of transactions every year. They use a 256-bit secure encryption that will prevent any and all third parties from accessing your credit card information. Because there's no employee physically handling your credit card, it's actually even safer than all the restaurants and department stores you can think of. Don't forget that we want to help you, and part of helping you is making sure that you feel 100% safe and comfortable with our service. 11. Does this work on Latin women, Asian women, black women, etc.? Dominant sexual power is based on psychological principles and has nothing to do with ethnic stereotyping whatsoever. The only difference, I guess, is in how different cultures go about dating. For example, a Swedish woman has a different taste for food than a Brazilian woman. There also might be some differences in etiquette from culture to culture, but in a way, that's true of all women. That's true of men, too. So really, a woman's ethnic background has as much bearing on all this as what kind of movies she's into. Dominant sexual power only concerns itself with the emotional and psychological reasons that result in making a woman horny. This is why any man can use them on any kind of woman he so desires. So, yes, it works on all women of all races. 12. Can I still access it later if I want? Well, there's good news and there's bad news. The bad news is that if you don't take action right now and wait until the presentation is taken down, you won't have any access to the private Dominant Sexual Power website. I want to keep the group as exclusive as possible in order to filter out all the guys who intend to use dominant sexual power in a harmful and abusive way. You're going to be able to make women lose total sexual control, which can be really dangerous in the wrong hands. Women are really powerless in these situations, and I need to be 100% sure that the men who use this program are going to use it for all the right reasons. So, if that's not the kind of guy you are, and you only intend to use our techniques honestly, then I suggest you claim your spot right now by clicking the button below. The good news, however, is that since dominant sexual power is fully guaranteed for 14 days, you don't actually have to decide right now. You can claim your spot, check out the website, and try the techniques for yourself. If you find that it's not working for you and you're not lining women up to go on dates with you immediately, or maybe it just isn't your kind of thing, then you can get all your money back with no questions asked. 13. Will dominant sexual power tell me what to say? We're going to start you off with a few word-for-word phrases that will guarantee that you get a woman turned on in seconds. Think of them as training wheels, because the more you use them, the more you'll be able to develop the ability to know exactly what to say without our standard phrases. As you go along, you'll develop a newfound confidence in your use of language that you'll be able to keep any woman captivated by your conversation. And while we helped you get there, you'll have your own personal techniques to draw upon. So it's up to you. You can stick with our phrases, or you can let those phrases evolve into techniques of your own based on your personal style. 14. Will it work if I have a small penis? I get asked this one a lot. And considering that dominant sexual power is meant to bypass that part of her judgment, I'm not really sure why. By the time you get her into the bedroom, she's not sleeping with you based on anything related to your appearance, whether it's the size of your muscles or the length and width of your penis. None of that's going to matter to her. It's the use of the innocent words that make her desire you so much. If you've had really great sex, chances are that it had nothing to do with how the two of you looked, but how you felt about each other. This is why most women can't even climax unless they have real feelings for the guy. So, the truth of the matter is, size doesn't matter at all. I don't need to tell you that real sex is better than jerking off, but why is that? What's the difference if you're going to get an orgasm either way? Well, it's because real sex goes beyond the physical and gets into the psychological. The more of a connection you develop with a woman, the better the sex is going to be. And studies have shown that for women, attraction depends much more on the psychological than on the physical. And that's where we're coming in. Once you start using the Dominant Sexual Power program, you'll be able to make any woman turned on because you'll know how to tap into her psychological desires so that she won't be the slightest bit concerned with your physical attributes. That way, you'll never have to measure yourself with a ruler again. 15. Will dominant sexual power help me if I'm married or in a relationship? Well, first you need to realize that there are two types of relationships. There's the role reversal relationship in which the woman controls everything and never lets the man have his say. Because he'll do anything to please her and it's not coming from a genuine place, neither person is happy. You can spot a role reversal relationship fairly easily. You know, when the woman is acting like a drill sergeant who has to keep putting her man down, then he finally freaks out and says, "Hey, I'm only doing what you want me to." Everything about this kind of relationship goes counter to the way human biology works, not to mention how our society is structured. As a result, the man feels powerless and feels that he has no say in the relationship. So when he wants to have sex, he practically has to beg for it. Meanwhile, the woman in the situation feels no attraction to a man like that and often has to go elsewhere to satisfy her sexual needs. The second type of relationship works in the exact opposite fashion. Here, the man is the dominant one and the woman is following him. Again, it goes back to biology and society. Now, that doesn't give you the right as a man to bully her and control her every move. But the fact of the matter is that this relationship functions much more naturally because the man is guiding the direction for the two. Therefore, once you start using dominant sexual power, you'll be guiding the relationship automatically. Women love the chase, and you'll be providing the direction of that chase from the very beginning. The more you continue to lead her, the more she'll believe that you can continue providing her with something that only you can, and nobody else. When a relationship or marriage works in this way, it's going to be she who seeks affection and initiates the sex because she wants to make sure that you're satisfied. These are the relationships that last the longest and are happiest. So if you're married or in a relationship, you can ensure that what you already have will be at its most functional and fulfilling. 16. Will dominant sexual power work if I already messed up my chances with a particular girl? It's easy for a guy to get hung up on the mistakes he's made with women, and believe me, I've been there myself. But the thing is, once you start doing the right things that turn a woman on, you'll be amazed by how quickly she forgets about everything you did wrong beforehand. Actually, this is kind of like the friend zone thing. If you've already screwed it up with a woman, she'll have a fixed impression on you based on what you did wrong. So,
once you start turning her on and driving her crazy, she'll start thinking, oh, maybe I was wrong about him and that I actually really like him. We get a lot of feedback like that. Like we just got one from a guy in Florida who did make some huge mistakes, like constantly sending flowers and presents and letters. And of course, all it did was scare the woman off. I mean, that's the kind of blunder no guy could bounce back from. But you know what? He used dominant sexual power, and he was able to do exactly that. So those are the most common questions I get about dominant sexual power, and hopefully I've now addressed whatever concerns you may have been having. But if you're still wondering if this is right for you, then the only way to find out for sure is to give it a shot. So just complete the order, get a hold of all the materials, try it out, and make up your mind for yourself. If you decide that it's not for you, then fine. You can get your money back and move on. But wouldn't you rather try it out than go through the rest of your life wondering what could have been? That's why we're trying to make this so easy for you. That's why we have a 100% satisfaction guarantee that's backed up even further with a full money-back guarantee if you aren't satisfied. We're putting all the risk on ourselves so that you don't have to worry about a thing. You just need to give it a try and then make the final decision for yourself. I'm here to help you. I really believe in this program. In fact, I think Dominant Sexual Power is my most powerful program ever released. It's really took my game to an even greater level, and I've seen it take guys who were virgins to having sex lives that would make some famous Hollywood playboys jealous. I get guys sending me emails round the clock telling me how much Dominant Sexual Power has changed their lives, how they used to spend every weekend of their lives alone, and how they're now meeting new women on a regular basis and getting laid like a rock star. They're the studs that they never thought they could be. And they got all of it by spending a mere $70. For $70, you can take yourself out to a nice meal, run up a decent bar tab, or fill up your gas tank at the rate everything's been going. While all of those things are positives, will any of them change your life completely? I'm asking you to spend $70 on the chance to do just that. Become the man you've always wanted to be. That's quite a value considering you'll be spending less than $100 and you have the opportunity to get it all back if you're not satisfied. And don't forget, once you're done with dating every woman you've ever wanted to meet, you can use the techniques to focus your efforts on settling down with your one true love, the woman that you'll spend the rest of your happy and successful life with. And all you have to do to make all of this a reality is click the button below to get started and complete your order. Get your copy of Dominant Sexual Power today before it's too late.